basket for Brian Zaire.
Hansen with a strike right at keeper. Here's the rebound again. Another great save. Dylan Favor with two bang-bang saves at point-blank range.
First ball in. For Paul. Can she control it? Gets beyond Kearsley. It's in the back of the net.
Straight drop, airs it out, puts some zip on this thing. That is a honey, and that is a catch, and that is a touchdown.
Got it, fakes the handoff, now rolls to the right, still rolling, still being chased, now heads upfield, goes around a man at the 40, down to the 35, heads infield at the 30, now he's down to the 20, you gotta be kidding me, he's down to the 15, almost down, he's to the 10-yard line.
All right, welcome into the 2023-24, I guess, the Wesco 4A Media Night here. Scott Ohsman joined along with Casey Bryant. We are down at the Everett. We're the big time right here. This is a big conference center, and tonight we're going to have the 4 Wesco 4A schools, and we're glad you're here. We're going to learn about the coaches, some players we're going to get introduced to, and we're going to start it off with the Jackson Timberwolves, and we'll go up Mason Siddick, the head coach, and we're going to turn it over to you. We're down here this year, a little bit different, our second year. Coach, talk about the offseason and talk about, let's forget about last year, okay? Let's not even talk about last year. Let's talk about who do you got up there, first of all, and introduce your the players here that you brought today.
All right, I'll start from the left. So I've got a senior cornerback for us, Sherrod Irvin, and then I've got a junior offensive lineman and defensive lineman in Will Gamache. Then junior linebacker and fullback for us in Hasib Rasuli.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So you also have some juniors. You finally kind of growing up, right? Talk a little bit about, and we can talk to your senior quarterback and how he's feeling. Let's throw it to you. How are you feeling about this coming in this year?
I'm feeling pretty confident about this year. Yeah.
You feeling the vibes are good? You've been working in the off season a lot?
Yep. I've been training a lot with my teammates in the off season. Really just working hard and just really focusing about this year, not focusing about last year. Just really,
forget that.
Yeah, just really working hard really hard this year.
So have you already told your coach how many yards you're going to put up through the air, on the ground? I mean, you already talking smack?
Sorry, Scott, cornerback, not quarterback.
Corner. I apologize. See?
So let's talk about how
Starting
many.
off
Let's
exactly how
let's
we
talk
always
about how
do.
many yards he's preventing.
Okay, so
right?
so INTs, what do you want to talk?
Well, my goal really is really just trying to lock stuff down. Really trying to get some PBU, some picks this year. Last year I was pretty decent, getting some pass breakouts, but this year I'm really trying to get some pick sixes and trying to return it to the home field. You know.
Sounds good. Well, maybe you can play quarterback, cornerback.
There's a lot of great cornerbacks that are out there in the NFL right now. Is there anyone in particular that you are drawn to? Anyone you try to emulate in your game?
My two favorite is probably Jalen Ramsey and probably Sauce Gardner.
Ooh, Sauce. You watching Hard Knocks?
Yep.
It's good. It's a little, it's more of Aaron Rodgers show for me, but we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
Coach, let's go down the line here and get some information on what you're looking for this year.
Well, Will, are you?
Yeah. Let's go down the line here.
What I'm looking for this year?
Yeah, what are you gonna do this year? I mean, come on. Am I gonna read about you every week in the Herald? I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm just kind of hoping to, protect the quarterback at all costs. And on defense, just make sure they can't run or, stop the pass from happening.
All right. Casey, you have a hard-hitting question?
Sure. I mean, you mentioned Hard Knocks, and Coach, this is a question for you in particular. There's a lot of media out there where you're given all access behind the scenes to big-time clubs like Hard Knocks, like Quarterback, the new series on Netflix. Do you watch those kinds of things? And if you do, is there anything that you learn as a coach about the process and how to lead your group?
Well, I think as just a fan of the game, right, and as a football coach and a student of the game, you definitely watch those things. The way that practices are run and the organization behind it is going to be totally different because of the level at which we're playing, right? But you're always looking for the team building. What are the points of emphasis that coaches are trying to hit home? Well, how do they motivate their players, right? What are the things that the players are interested in? Because at the end of the day, right, that's who we're here to cultivate and develop, right? And so you want to know what coaches at the highest level are looking for and that stuff, because setting that standard starts at a young age, right? And trying to help these kids get to that level at some point in time, right? So yeah, there's always something to learn and to look for, but for me it's always more so the philosophical things is what I really look for.
Now, we have two juniors and a senior here, right?
Yes, sir.
These are now older classmen. Guys, how do you feel about assuming a leadership mantle now that you're looked at as one of the elder statesmen on your roster?
Our team was really young last year. As a lot of people know, we were all sophomores, and there wasn't many juniors. We don't got much seniors now that they're seniors now. So now that everyone's like a junior, we're all kind of seen as the leaders. We just gotta every day at workouts, everything. You gotta just lead it. You gotta just set an example for the younger guys.
Who's the prankster? I mean, really, come on. That's what we really want to know is who in the weight room in the summer. I mean, it's early. Coaches got you out there. Who's the prankster?
The prankster is sitting right over there.
Oh.
That's why I didn't put him in front of the microphone.
Smart already.
He deserved to be here, but I definitely didn't want to have him in front of the microphone.
Now, you guys, I love, since we go just to 5 schools, the non-conference, right? You coaches, you get the Rolodex out, right? And you start non-conference. Now, your first year, you got a Mount Lake Terrace.
Yes, sir.
They're tough.
Yeah, man.
What are you doing, Coach?
They play the type of football that I love. It's hard-nosed, smash-mouth football. Want to run the ball right down your throat. And so I embrace that challenge. Those are the kind of games that I love to play in and I love to coach in. So, for these guys, they got a good taste of what Friday Night Lights is like, and that Terrace brand of football, so to speak. And so this year we want to see if we can answer the bell and change the outcome.
It's fantastic. Go ahead.
The new Madden just came out the other day. If we could go down the line, you're handed the controller. What team are you picking for a pickup game and why?
Great question.
I'm not really sure. I don't really play Madden that much. It's more of a question of this guy.
Picking up New Orleans immediately. They got a solid all-around team, and I love to run with AK.
All right.
I'll probably take the Ravens just because of Lamar Jackson. I just like scrambling out the pocket every time.
There you go. Coach, any answer for you?
I'm loyal to the hometown team, man, so I pick the Seahawks all the time.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
How much time do we have here, Todd? We're keeping going. Okay. Speaking of the Seahawks, Casey, I mean, any prediction? Are you guys all Seahawk fans? I mean, sometimes, I talk to kids these days and they grew up here, but they're not Seahawks fans. That's understandable. Just please tell me you're not a Cowboys fan and I'll be fine.
No.
Anybody out there?
No, not really.
No Seahawks fans.
I'm a Seahawks fan for sure.
Okay, what fan of NFL are you?
I'm a Seahawks fan, too.
Okay.
New Orleans.
New Orleans, the Saints?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't really like the NFL. I watch more college ball. So.
Oh, really? Okay, well, what's your favorite college team?
Probably Ohio State.
The Ohio State University. All right. Well, what do you guys have any thoughts of this whole realignment in the Pac-4 or anything like that?
I mean, I just feel bad for the other teams, really. So, whoever joined the Pac-12, I think it was Oregon.
We got Oregon State, Washington State, Cal, Stanford. Yeah. All right. I'm getting the rap sign. So you guys made it through. All right, congratulations. Great job and best of luck. The Jackson Timberwolves.
Thank you guys so
Go get
much.
them. Let's go have a great season. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
We will be back with the Mariner Marauders when we come back. More.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Don't stress, just save up to $200 on select tires with financing at our Les Schwab Fall Tire Sale. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Okay, Scott Ohsman and Casey Bryant here back at 4A Wesco Media Day, and we have the Mariner Marauders. Boy, I told you, the Marauders, Casey, you weren't here last year. They lit the stage up last year. But you know what? Tyler Tuiasosopo, he's back down south. He took his good friend, his right-hand guy, CJ, the head coach now. He comes up from Vegas, and then Tyler goes back down, and you're here. And I got to talk to you earlier. Yeah. How you feeling about all the momentum? Talk a little bit about the kids you have up there and what you're feeling about this year. You guys made some great strides last year.
We made some great strides last year. We're looking to continue that, capitalize on that energy. We got a lot of support from our community, from our school, and so we're looking to keep that going, keep that positive energy going. I have 3 captains up here with me, all seniors. Robel to my left, the middle, Kareem Sai, to the far end is Kelvin Lualua. And so these are great kids, even better teammates, and they really do a lot for their community as well. So phenomenal. These are solid guys who came up through the ranks of our program.
All right, what positions again? Remind me, I know of everybody, or I know you play multiple positions?
Well, yes, they do play multiple, but Robel is our left tackle and defensive tackle. In the middle, Kareem is our starting center, starting defensive end. And to the left is Kelvin, who is our starting safety and also running back. So key fixtures on our squad.
You know what, Casey? No quarterbacks, and I love it. I love no quarterbacks up here. Those guys get too much glory. Don't you agree?
Yeah, we don't want to put all of it on our quarterback. Our quarterback is he's a youngster. He's a sophomore, but he's uber talented, great athlete. But he is a sophomore, so he'll be up here soon enough.
Okay. Casey, you have any?
For sure. All 3 of you guys being seniors and being captains, if you wouldn't mind expounding, you can go down the line as to what it is you're most looking forward to about your senior season.
I'll go first. I look forward to just bonding with my teammates and being a good impression on them and setting a good example of what they should be like when they're seniors and just play ball with them.
Same question.
I look forward to hopefully making playoffs, hopefully having a good season. We have the team to do it, so.
Absolutely. And you?
Having a good season, having good team bonding, and setting an example for the young guys.
Taking care of business.
They're taking care. Now, Rebel, did you talk to your head coach about this schedule? Because I have a couple teams he set up for you. This is, Kitsap? Are you kidding me? That's your Central Kitsap? That's the feel good? That's the confident one? Come on. Those guys are giants over there. There's one school for all those people.
I think we'll be all right. I wouldn't say we don't fear anybody. With whoever lines up against us, we're just gonna play our game, stick to whatever we have to do, and handle business.
All right. Go ahead, Case.
Coach, when you're dealing with this age group of 14 to 18-year-olds, right? There's a lot to learn about the process, right? How to prepare like a professional so that they can move on to that next level of football if they so desire. What do you try to instill in your players to make sure they are getting the process down and getting ready for a big year?
Well, first you got to enjoy the process, right? Nobody makes it overnight. Nobody does anything overnight. We work hard as coaches, and so we bring them into the fold and show them how we work, whether that be game planning, drawing up defenses or offensive, also watching film. So we incorporate all three every day in practice, right? Because it's not enough to just go lift the weights, go run routes and things like that, but you have to prepare mentally. And so we take that approach and we run our program as if it was a Division I program.
And I can speak last year, again, a lot of you guys played. You guys brought it. I got to do a couple of games, and every team, it didn't matter who we were playing, you brought it. Calvin, down there, right? What's your favorite part of practice? What's your favorite part of the game? What just gets you kind of fired up?
I'll say like every day we get better, and every day like we step up our game.
All right.
Yeah.
Just the challenging yourself every day to improve?
Yeah.
Should we ask our Hard Knocks question yet, Casey, or is it time?
I think so.
Go ahead.
Well, so
anybody watching it? No?
I haven't watched it yet, but I plan on it. I'm more interested in watching the actual games.
Yeah.
So I plan on. I always watch it before the start of the season. So.
All right. What's your favorite show you've streamed this summer? What do you guys? I mean, I know you're just lifting weights and working out and watching tape all day, but anything else you're doing for fun?
I would say I watched a show called Top Boy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a show and it's based in London. It's about this group of guys. They just handle business and they're living their life basically.
That's awesome. I love it.
I don't really watch TV like that, but a show I've been watching is called Quarterback. It's on Netflix.
Quarterback, yes.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
It's like about how the quarterbacks live their lives in the NFL. So.
I know. It's a great show. If you haven't watched, have you watched that?
Absolutely.
Of course.
Fantastic.
God, but I'm starting to like Kirk Cousins as a player, and it's
It's an unfortunate side effect.
Yeah, I'm very torn. It's really tough. I don't want to root for that guy. But it's kind of hard not to.
Yeah.
So, Coach, what other things do you do? Again, maybe you guys brought up from Vegas when you came up here, but we'll kind of get you out of here on this. Is there things you guys run, like you said, like a pro D1 program? Anything else that's the thread here every single time when you come to practice? It's every day. It's messaging. What's your big message?
We get better 1% every day. I mean, because there's really no way to judge it when you're in camp, right? But you can judge it off energy, effort, and what you're seeing on film, right? Because you haven't gone against anybody yet. So you have to kind of take it and look at, are we making increments every day to get better? And so if you're happy with that as a coach, then you're going to have a fine season. And so far, on 3 and 4 days, I'm happy with what I'm seeing. We do have a lot of young guys playing key roles this year, but they're learning, and they want to get better, right? So, and that's always key. That's always key. So I'm excited. I'm excited for these guys. I'm excited for our school, our community. So it's going to be fun. I can't get the smile off my face.
I love it. CJ Atkins, the new head coach, the Mariner Marauders. I'm telling you, people, if you've not caught this, go to Goddard, go wherever you got to go. They are just a blast to watch. They really are. All right. Hey, thank you guys. You've been fantastic. We're going to be back with the Glacier Peak Grizzlies up next as Wesco 4A Media Night continues. All right.
Great job.
with us. The new generation. The next level. Sending it big.
You're in for a good run. Let's go.
Come with us to the track, to the trails, to the slopes, to the surf, to the fight, to the race.
Look at this.
To the 4 a.m. starts, training harder, pushing further, hitting back, hard. To the fans, to the followers, and the haters. Come with us to the blood, to the sweat, and the broken bones. Cue rehab. We never quit. We never give up. We take control. To the world titles. To the world's first. The world's best.
UFC strawweight champion.
Come with us. We're just getting started.
It's going to be so much fun. I promise you.
Bit. Kamiak Knights, they're ready. They're up there. They got a new head coach, Ivan McLennan. I tell you, the Coug, the linebacker, he's ready to tackle somebody right now.
Hey man, come on now. You know we're all about starting fast around here. All right. Words to Mike Leach, man. You got to swing your swords. I plan on swinging my sword right now during media day.
Coach, talk about it. You're coming in now. You work with Coach Bryant. You work.
Yep.
You're not new to Kamiak,
No.
but talk about first of all, introduce these young men you got next to you, and tell us a little bit about what the flavor, what the feel is here for Kamiak Knights.
Well, first and foremost, it's always about the athletes, right? So right here we got 4-star tight end receiver, outside linebacker Tiandre Waverly, senior football player. Michael Barton, right? That's the biggest compliment. Anytime scouts come around, they be like, explain Michael Barton. I'm like, man, football player, right? So Michael Barton, football player. And then you probably got the swaggiest slot in Washington right here, Miles Moffitt, right? So I got 3 studs right here next to me. I'm so proud. Being a new head coach, right, when you have guys like this within the program and make it so easy, so sweet, right? So we've been excited, man. I'm excited, right? Being able to be a head coach, right? Put my own imprint within the program. Obviously, I had a great mentor in Brian Thomas, right? Guided me, groomed me kind of for this position. Obviously, I've had great head coaches from, Mike Leach, obviously, to Dan Quinn, to, Wally Bueno, to Dave Dickinson in Calgary, right? I played with a lot of awesome head coaches throughout my professional and college career. So I'm just happy to be a head coach now and happy to be the head coach at Kamiak High. So go Knights.
I mean, we should just put the tape on him, let him go, right? I mean, he really doesn't need any questions. I like this guy's born to do this.
I tell you what, Coach, the confidence is palpable, the energy is palpable. How do you want to channel all of that confidence and energy into winning football games this fall?
You can see the confidence right now, but in the energy, right? But honestly, I'm all about the work. You know what I'm saying? We're about to work at Kamiak. Every day, these guys bring their lunch pail, right? And they get to work, right? And that's what we're about. That's what this program's about, right? We don't want nothing given to us, right? We're not about gifts, right? Unless it's Christmas time or birthdays, we'll take some gifts. But other than that, we're not about the gifts at Kamiak. We're going to work. We're going to have that lunch pail mentality. And, we're going to try to go 1-0 each week, focus on the now mindset, and we're going to play the next play. So that's what we're about.
All right, let's start with Mr. Waverly here. You kind of came on the scene, you splashed. You made a big splash, as you should, because you're a great football player. So tell people, what is it like? Because you got a lot going on. You're coming in the season, right? You got all these people trying to talk to you. You got this new coach. He's all for it. But talk a little bit about how the summer's been for you and what you're thinking coming into this season.
Well, I'm confident for our team. I feel like over our summer we've built a lot of like camaraderie. Sorry.
Yeah.
I feel like our team is bonded a lot. Our coach always says be the most excited to play, and I feel like just through scrimmages and through practice, like we have the energy, we have the confidence, we have the intensity to compete in these games with these high level teams.
That's fantastic. All right, football player. I got you. Look like
that boy got a neck. He got a neck on top of his neck. He got a neck on top of his neck, man. That boy be in the weight room.
Go ahead, Casey. I'm flipping it to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you what, I'm always interested in who guys want to emulate and who they look up to most at their respective positions. If you want to go down the line as to who you feel at your position you identify with and who you want to be like when you go out on the field.
Yeah.
I want to always be myself, but at the same time, there's always the pro players like Aaron Donald or Quentin Nelson that I always look at, watch film about. But I always just want to be myself because I know always want to be the best version of myself that I can.
Amen.
Absolutely.
These guys are so mature.
Can we get the same question? Is there anyone in particular
Come
you're
on, the
looking up to?
swaggy guy. Come on.
Trayvon Austin.
We got to give you some time.
Well, if you see my position and how I play, probably Tyreek Hill right now. But as Coach said, I grew up watching players like Trayvon Austin and probably like DeAnthony Thomas back in the
Back to the tight end on the corner there.
Really based off the way I play the game, I find myself most resembling like Kyle Pitts.
There you go. That's good. That's good. So who's working on some new moves that you're going to debut here on September 1st, our first night? I'm going to talk to you about your schedule because I think you got some issues with your coach. He's actually got some really tough teams. I mean, you start with Arlington, who's going to throw. What I read, they're going to throw the ball all over the yard.
Oh, they are.
I don't know. I mean,
man, that's news to us. Thank you. That helps the game plan a little bit. That helps the game plan, but not.
Remember where you got that from.
Yeah, man.
Do not trust anything I say.
For me, as an athlete, as a competitor, why would you not want to go against the best? Why would you not want to step in between those lines against powerhouses like Arlington and, Monroe, Camas, Lake Stevens, things of that nature? Hey, man, this is not, this sport ain't, this is not lacrosse. This is not tennis, right? This is football. This is a gladiator sport. And ultimately, you want to face other gladiators. You want to put your merits, put your skill, put your talents to the test with other talented players. That's why we believe in just competition. You just want to be just as competitive as possible every Friday, right? So it could be Arlington. It could be anybody. We're not saying that we're just going to go out there and blow people out. But what I am going to tell you is this. We're going to be ready. We're going to be the most prepared, right? We're going to go out there and be the most excited. And we're going to be out there and we're going to be true to us and do what we do, right? I don't think that it's ever us versus anybody else. I tell the boys all the time, it's you versus you. It's you versus you, right? How can you be the best you can be? How can you take your talents to the height that it's supposed to be through this competition? So you say the schedule is tough. I say the schedule is lovely. I say the schedule is exactly what we need. Yeah. I say the schedule is I don't know. It's very complimentary to what we're trying to accomplish at Camiac.
In the locker room, if you're having a tournament, whether it's Madden or Fortnite, if there's a gaming tournament in the locker room, who's coming away the victor?
Me with Madden.
Anybody else want to?
I'm terrible.
No one's challenging?
He can think that, but I'll be the one on top.
I'm a 2K guy. I hate Madden. I'm sorry. I hate Madden. Just because I play football so much, me personally, I'd just rather play 2K, even though the new 2K is just too much, man. I hope 2K24 is a little bit smoother than 2K23 because, man, the gameplay is not that exciting.
Another hard-hitting question we've asked all the kids. I want to know the kids. What are you guys watching this summer? What are you guys, I don't know, YouTubing, whatever. What's the big thing that's fun to watch? We talked about quarterback earlier. One of the players was talking about the Netflix show Quarterback. Any big top hits? I mean, come on, we need some tips. I'm old.
They watching film. They watching film. That's the most popular show right now.
That was on the tip of their tongue. Yeah.
I can answer it though. For me personally, I've just been watching a lot of just the Deion Sanders well-off media on YouTube, man. His boy Bucky, I'm loving watching that. I actually took a visit to Colorado this spring. One of my good friends, Brett Bartoloni, the receiver coach there, got a behind-the-scenes look, man. And I'm just so fascinated with Prime and what he's doing over there and the culture he's setting. And I can say that I'm not a big thief, but I'm stealing a couple things from him, man. I love the mentality he brought there, and that's kind of the same things that we're doing at Camiac, man. It's a new energy, it's a new wave, it's the new Camiac. We coming. It's that simple.
For one, this is off topic, but I think Deion's going to do very well.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he's going to surprise a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Is there anything else the boys have?
Yeah, boy, I don't know what they watching.
You got the mic away from your head coach.
Hey man,
going at
and my boys humble, man. They just want to, you know.
They're terrific.
I had to pull teeth to get them here, man. They didn't even want to come. They just all about ball,
What
about
do
their
you guys
teammates.
You got any questions for us? How about we turn it around? No. Talk about what you're watching. What gets you excited?
I really haven't turned on the show in like months.
Well, you're just lifting weights and watching film.
Yeah, that's about it.
All right. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Anybody else?
There's a series on Prime. It's like All or Nothing. It's like a documentary of like football team season. So I was watching one on the Cardinals, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love all that stuff.
That's awesome.
Anything else?
I tell you what, with the all-access shows that are out there right now, Hard Knocks, Quarterback, there's a lot of football content, the Coach Prime show. There's a lot of opportunity to see how the big-time programs are preparing.
Yeah.
What do you take from those kinds of shows that helps educate you on how to prepare? What are you learning from big-time programs?
What I know is, man, we need STSPN at Camiac so we can have a little training camp deal, right? One of these days. Y'all need to give us a little all-access. Maybe in class of 2025 I can get that. But,
great idea.
Oh man, so for me, man, I think that when you speak of, it's funny that you said that. Because the other day in our team meeting, remember I showed the training camp from Bama and the training camp from the Jets, and I made a point to the boys that, dude, you're not unique. Everything that you're doing right now, all levels are doing it. Even from the youth, Coach Waverly's over here. That's DeAndre Dad. He runs the Camiac Youth Program, and I went to one of their practices. Guess what? They're practicing too right now, right? Everybody's practicing. Everybody has the same goals, right? Ultimately, what sets these teams apart? If everybody's working out, everybody doing the same thing, what sets these teams apart? And that's when it comes to culture, right? It's the culture, right? So what can you do within your personal culture with your school, right, to maximize that talent there, right? So I think that we just really been focused on us. We really just been like dialed into the task at hand, and that is just getting us better and focusing on us. So like I said, when it comes September 1st, I do think that we'll be prepared. Once again, I'm not Vegas. I'm not here to predict, point spreads or who's going to win and things of that nature. But I promise you one thing, when we get off that bus around probably 4 o'clock, 3:30, I like getting the venues early. We get off that bus, we're going to be ready. When that kickoff come, our time, I think we're going to be all right. So that's kind of what we got. Are we done now? Are we good?
No.
That should have been my mic drop, man. I was trying to get out of here now. I'm trying to get out of here, man.
I mean, I'm fired up right now. Just to get you out of here on this, I guess. The kid now. Mm-hmm. When you guys are in there, and it's just the most intense situation, right? I mean, who of the three of you, or maybe one of your other teammates, who kind of just understands the mood and how to lighten it up and just make sure you're still having fun, it's still football, and all the stress and everything else going on?
Whoever's controlling the music knows how to.
Who gets to control? How is that decided? That's a great question. We should ask everybody. That's an excellent question.
I'm starting to seem like a dictator. I control the music. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I do control the music.
It's mainly whoever wants to pick the phone up first and take the task.
Talking about like in the huddle. Huh? Talking about like in the huddle.
Oh. I'd say most vocal in the huddle is definitely Michael. He's always gonna be.
See why I love these boys, right?
He's the most vocal.
Yeah.
All right. I think that a guy that always bring the energy for us and a guy that's consistent and bringing it all the time is Journey Natoa. Offensively, one of our all-league linemen, center. He's full of energy every day. He's coming with that intensity. And defensively, man, you could pick your poison with Simon Ross, Matthew Thayer, Brandon Bays, Caden Prater. I mean, we got a whole bunch of seniors around there that want to win, that tasted winning a couple years ago, right, when we had the great Wesley Garrett running the ball for us, right? So they want to get back to that. They want to get back to the playoffs. They want to compete. And I think our seniors defensively, and like I said, Journey Natoa, man, I should have brought him, man. He would have gave us some laughs too. But he brings the energy for sure. He is our firecracker for sure.
All right. Do we have time? Can I ask one last question of the coach? Okay. What is your feeling? Again, I didn't go to Washington State. I have to get. What do you feel? What is going on? I'm dying over here about the Pac-4, about the Washington State Cougars, Oregon State.
Yeah.
Stanford, they got a $3 billion indictment. I don't feel as bad for them, but what do you talk Coug? Talk.
Well, I was just talking. It's funny you asked me. I was just talking to Greg Witter. He's the CEO of CougFan.com. I do some work with him in the off seasons, and just talking to him, and it was devastating. I'll tell you one thing. I didn't go to junior college and, had to do all that to go to not a Pac-12 school, not a Power 5 school. So it does hurt when you see Washington State, possibly going to, no knock, a Mountain West, right, or like a AAC school.
Right.
But for me, man, how can you play the next play? Like literally, I know it sounds so cliche. I love Leach to death, man, because he really instilled that in me. Like, man, in life, stuff's gonna happen. So right now in the Pac-12, it's kind of like a word I'm not going to say, but storm, right? You could probably attach the verb in front of that, right? It's kind of a storm, right? But I do think that it will settle down. I think our best bet would kind of be like, see what Stanford, Cal do. And worst case, I like independence. Maybe we can go the Notre Dame route for a season or two, be independent, right? But until Apple, I'm hearing Apple about to buy up everything, ESPN, everything. So maybe we could just wait a year or two, go independent, right? Maybe we stay as the Pac-4 and just, possibly just have a whole bunch of non-conference games to stay Power 5 eligible. But it's heartbreaking, man. It's heartbreaking. I live as a kid, I lived for seeing SC playing against Oregon in the Coliseum, right? I lived for seeing UCLA, going down to Cal and playing them, right? It's going to suck. But, ultimately, hopefully we can keep like the Civil War, the Apple Cup, things of those natures intact. But it sucks what's happened to the Pac. But, it could be worse. And play the next play, Pac. Come on, man. You can hire me as the commissioner. I'll get us right. I'll get the schedule right. I'm just throwing my pitch, man. I can use that pay jump now. Hey, you go ask him. I could Commissioner Mac. That sounds good to me. Right? But
Commissioner Mac. Well, right now, head coach Ivan McLennan. Thank you so much. And the kids, everybody, watch out. Kamiak Nights. You guys brought it last year. You're going to bring it again. We'll be back maybe with the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. We'll see. Thank you, guys. We'll be back with more right after this.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Don't stress, just save up to $200 on select tires with financing at our Les Schwab Fall Tire Sale. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
All right, back here, Scott Ohsman, Casey Bryant here, Wesco 4A Media Day, and we have the Glacier Peak Grizzlies up next. Casey, head coach Shane Keck. I feel like you've been there forever, Coach Keck. How long have you been there?
This will be my 5th year as a head coach, 1 as an interim, then 4 as the permanent, and then I was there 1 year just coaching offense.
Fantastic. Why don't you introduce the 3 young men you have here, and we'll start. We'll talk about their accolades, what you're looking at. Hopefully they played well in practice the last 3 days or 2 days.
Give and take, yeah.
And just tell us a little bit about everybody.
Yeah, so this is Jackson Murphy. Started center for us last year, returning on the offensive line. Going to probably play some more guard as well. Plays a little bit of defense. He's a senior. Senior next to him is Crispin Bonchi.
Is it Bonch? Didn't we have this discussion last year? It's Bonchi.
Bonchi.
I might have screwed that up, 100 times.
I'll blame it on you that I just mispronounced that. He's a running back for us and also a corner. Sat behind a couple guys, so looking for him to have a breakout year. And then down on the end, Ben Williams is a senior wide receiver, started last year for us. Will be there again this year, and then also play some safety. Great young men, represent our program the right way, and so excited to have them here.
Casey?
For the 3 players that are up there, all 3 of you are playing positions that require such great footwork, right, in different ways. What are you guys working on to keep as agile and keep as quick as possible when you're out there on the field?
So in the off season, a lot of us, we've been in the gym, we've been hitting the field with conditioning and stuff. And then some of us, we like to hit the field as a team. So we'll just go out and we'll do drills, we'll run through plays and stuff like that to stay fresh.
I see all the Twitter stuff. I mean, you guys are lifting weights like 24 hours a day, it feels like. I don't know. I mean, it's impressive. It's very impressive. No? You guys are in the weight room watching film, right?
We've been lifting all summer, so we're
Yeah.
definitely putting the work in. We're putting it on and off the field, so.
What's your favorite route? I mean, obviously the go ball deep,
Of course the go ball, but I do like running my deep posts down the side of the field, so it's definitely
Excellent.
something I run a lot, so.
Excellent. All right.
Last year, you guys had a pretty unique experience where you got to travel to California, right? What was that experience like for you? What did you learn that you're taking into this year?
I think it showed us that we can do that. We would like to do that every other year. My Booster Club president's sitting over there, so I'm going to make sure she knows we want to travel again next year. But I think it also showed us that we can go play in big-time games, and we should win those big-time games. That one, flipped on us right at the end. But it also showed that, our program, we're not settling to just be second place. We're not settling just to be in the playoffs. We're reaching and scratching and clawing to try and go win the big ones. And so it was an awesome experience. Hopefully the kids had a great time. Obviously didn't go at the end of the day the way we wanted it to, but I think it just kind of shows where the program's going.
When you're on a long bus trip like that, who keeps things loose? Because I know it's a long ride, been on many of those myself. So who's keeping the bus loose while you're traveling down there?
I mean, last year it was a lot of like the senior guys, but honestly, like being an O-lineman, it's the O-line. We joke, we talk about food, we talk about really anything. We yell at each other, say, look out the window. There's nothing there, so.
Who controls the music? That's been a very big conversation. A lot of trash talking about music up here.
Yeah, more O-line.
O-line?
Yeah.
If you're trying to get fired up for a big game, what artist are you going to? What playlist are you going to?
I don't know. Usually our quarterback, Lucas Antler, usually got the tunes going before the game, so yeah, that's what we usually go to.
We've also been talking about what shows. Did you guys watch all the football shows? Did you watch all the quarterback and Hard Knocks and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Any favorites there?
So I was a JUCO coach for 3 years. I played JUCO in California. So Last Chance U it's kind of my routine in the fall, kind of get me ready. So that's my deal.
What about you guys?
Yeah, I gotta agree with Last Chance U.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
It
I
is.
personally don't really watch TV.
There's a lot of kids. You're the second one that don't watch TV. This is great. I'm watching film and I'm lifting weights. That's what I do.
That's about it.
Any shows for you?
I watched the quarterback series. I really enjoyed it. I liked it. Yeah.
Who's your favorite out of that group?
Let's see. I liked Patrick Mahomes. I thought it was a good story. I mean,
Yeah.
it's good. Yeah.
It was good.
Cool watching him play. For sure.
What about this year? You got, again, the Paper Makers, one of my favorite mascots of all time. Camus is you went down and played them last year, got a good win. We've been talking about only the 5 teams, right? Great non-conference games. You guys, again, are going to play some very, very tough teams. You got Ferndale again. Talk about the schedule a little bit, Coach.
Yeah, so we opened up with a crosstown rivalry with Snohomish. That's obviously a great game for our community. And then Camus is going to come up here this year. Obviously a state powerhouse and program. Then we're going to drive up to Ferndale and actually open their brand new stadium up there for week 3. And then we're actually going to go back to Vancouver and play Evergreen of Vancouver, and they're loaded with several Division I commits already. And then our other non-conference game is a really tough and upcoming Marysville team. So, we knew that if we wanted to play at the level we want to play at, we had to go schedule these type of games. And so it's going to be a great challenge. And I think these kids have really prepared themselves to go make a run at it.
Go ahead, Casey. No, you're on.
I was going to say, Coach, you've been in that kind of Last Chance U environment at JUCO, but also as a coach, you've worked your way up to that head coaching position over these last few years. How has that helped you shape your coaching experience, but also does it help you kind of relate to the players, hey, embrace the grind because it's going to take time to get to where you need to be?
Yeah, when I first got down to coaching JUCO at West Hills College, the head coach said, hey, you better have your hands down and not your hands up, right? And I did everything from post-hole digging the softball fence to washing laundry to recruiting. I ended up becoming the defensive coordinator. So I've kind of done it all. And it gives me appreciation for, obviously being around high school. That's what you got to do. And so hopefully, our staff and myself are putting in the work ethic that it rubs off on our kids, because we demand a lot of them, most of the year. And so hopefully we're setting that example. So, and I learned a lot of that coaching JUCO ball, honestly.
Okay, let's talk about the drills that you just dread. Or you love every single drill. I mean, every single practice, every single thing. Come on.
I mean, you don't always love every single drill, every single practice, but you see the end goal, right? And you use that to fuel you. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, you have to keep improving as a player, and that's what you got to do.
And what do you guys go down the line? What are you looking forward to most this season?
I think I'm looking forward to the games that are far away, like the Evergreen game and things like that, because it's just like that bonding of that long drive. Even though it might be a hassle to get down there, it's fun to be with the guys and just getting prepared, having to drive down there. So.
All right. How about you?
I'm looking forward to the out of conference games, like you said as well. The drives are fun. You get to bond more with your teammates and just kind of have an experience. Go out, see what's out there, play some tough competition, and prepare for the postseason. So.
Great.
I mean, this year I feel like Coach Keck asked me like a similar question at camp, but it's just like finishing when I started with like guys like Ben. I've been playing with Ben since like 9 or 10. So I feel like it's just sort of like finishing what we started a decade ago, finishing, Glacier Peak football, putting it all behind us and having a season for each other rather than ourselves. So
you guys you got something to prove, right? Don't you this year? Do you feel like that? Does the team, you feel like there's a collective sense of, hey guys, the ones that were there, right? Seniors are gone, but yeah. You guys are there. Do you feel like, hey, we made a good stride yesterday? You had some great success, but you left a little out there. Is that the feeling?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, Woodinville hurt for a really long time, and then once it's just stopped hurting, it just sort of became like a chip on everyone's shoulder, even down from like guys that didn't play that game or guys that were like on JV that game. It was like, well, now we have to go and prove something to the rest of the state. We finally finished like, again, what we were supposed to do last year. So.
And you get to go to Husky Stadium if you make the championship.
Yeah.
If you're at Husky Stadium. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've been part of the Wash State Coaches Association, and the Wash State Football Coaches Association worked really hard to get that event moved to a venue that is worthy of our state championship. And so I think that's just an awesome deal for the kids to get to go experience that. Hopefully that's guys wearing navy and white.
Fantastic. Casey?
When you guys are playing the new Madden that just came out the other day, you're handed the controller for a pickup game. What team are you picking and why?
We should be tracking this poll, Casey.
I think it says a lot about someone who they pick.
I guess I gotta start. I'm gonna go with the Ravens.
Ravens second pick, yeah.
Because you got Lamar Jackson, moves a lot, and then you got Mark Andrews. You got J.K. Dobbins. The O-line's pretty good, so like.
You make a compelling argument.
Fair. I mean, it's a solid team. So.
It is a great team.
Yeah.
Anyone else on the line there? Who are you picking?
I mean, I'd probably pick the Bills. I like Josh Allen, having his mobility, his strength too, so that's probably what I usually go with. So.
Madden, not your thing?
Nah, not really.
No TV, no Madden, all business.
That's fantastic. I need to do more of what you do. I don't know what that is, but I should cut down on my TV. Anything other big things? You got some coaching changes. Steve Hannon is not there. You're defensive coordinator. Hannon Tuttle. We'll see if it gets signed again for next year, but that's okay. What else? You got Roy Rosenbach coming back. Obviously changes in AD. Talk about this team. You try and change it up and get the strengths. Talk about what you're doing in the coaches and that kind of thing.
Yeah, obviously losing Coach Hannon was a benefit. I mean, a loss.
He'll. Oh
yeah, he's gonna love that.
Blow you up for that.
Coach Jason Bean, who's been a coordinator at Mercer Island and Issaquah and Skyline, was on staff with us last year. Close friend of mine. He takes over the defense for us. Not a lot of changes, on the coaching staff. I really felt like this year and last year we got our coaches in, right, and we got our system now finally rolling. Bunch of great coaches, great people. Our freshman coaches all the way down. Those guys are fantastic. We have 17 guys on staff, and I think it tells you about the quality of people and the organization, that people want to be involved and dedicate their lives to helping kids. And so this team has a great buzz right now. Coach Tori Holloman, is on staff, and he was talking about it yesterday about how there's a buzz in the air around practice right now. And I think it's about the chemistry and the connection that these kids are building and have been building all summer. And so, that I think for me is the most fun. When you get to walk out there and work with kids that you love being around and guys that are working hard together, man, there's nothing better.
Yeah. Anything else, Casey?
I'm good if you want.
Okay, gosh. Well, anybody want to talk smack or anything here? I mean, we're here for quotes. No? Nothing? God, you were trained too well. Okay, Glacier Peak Grizzlies. Head coach Shane Keck. Good luck. Yeah, we'll start off against Snohomish right here, ladies and gentlemen. STSPN will be there again. Yes, Shane?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to STSPN, all the sponsors that make this thing possible for kids, and appreciate all the media being here to continue to grow Wesco football and hopefully continue to have a lot of success.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Outstanding. We will be back with more right after this STSPN Wesco 4A Media Day 2023, right after this.
Come with us. The new generation. The next level. Sending it big.
You're in for a good run. Let's go.
Come with us to the track, to the trails, to the slopes, to the surf, to the fight, to the race.
Look at this.
To the 4 a.m. starts. Training harder, pushing further, hitting back, hard. To the fans, to the followers, and the haters. Come with us to the blood, to the sweat, and the broken bones. Cue rehab. We never quit. We never give up. We take control. To the world titles. To the world's first. The world's best.
UFC strawweight champion.
Come with us. We're just getting started.
It's going to be so much fun. I promise you.
All right, and rounding out the five here, Lake Stevens, the Vikings, the champions, the state champions. Coach Tom Try, I don't even remember how many. I ask you every season how many years, but I forget every year. How many years?
This will be year 19.
Year 19. So the Vikings finally conquer the Lancers last year. Had to feel good. You lost a lot of guys, a lot of big-time players. But, Coach, talk about the young men you have sitting next to you and talk about the feeling. As you always tell me when every play, every team's different, every day is different. So start with these kids.
Well, that's what I'm going to tell you right now, too. This is a new year. We win a state championship. That's awesome, and we love that. That's something to be super proud of for sure. But just because you eat the best steak dinner on a Friday night doesn't mean that you're not going to be hungry on Saturday morning, right? Well, it's a new year. It's Saturday morning. We're hungry again, and we talk about resetting, hitting the reset button, starting over, and we got some guys that are returning. But yes, we are young and inexperienced. We like what we have in our athleticism and team speed. We're fortunate enough to have some studs with us today, starting with a 3-year starter and captain, Bryce Slezak. He's our left tackle and plays some D tackle and D in. We can move him inside and outside on the defense side of the ball. Been just a huge leader for us on the O-line. Next to him is Colton Matson, our quarterback, who is also what we consider a 3-year starter, even though he's only a junior. Tons of game experience, great kid, great leader for us, and super excited to see what he's going to do on the offensive side of the ball again for us this year. And then last but not least, we have Gabe Kalani, who's also a senior captain, 2-year starter on the defensive side of the ball, very versatile. We use him as a hybrid safety where he can come down and play the box and help stop run off the edge, but also flip his hips and play some cover 4 and do some things with man coverage. And we love his versatility. So we're super excited to get started this year. We're 4 days in now, and it's already feeling like we're starting to hit a groove a little bit. And hopefully we just continue to get better as we prepare for Garfield week 1.
Yeah. Go ahead, Casey.
There's a lot of playing experience already between the three of you guys, having started for so many years. What would you say has been the thing that you have grown the most on from the time that you started playing, your first game starting, to at this point now, your junior, senior seasons?
I think for me, it'd be my confidence. My confidence, starting as a sophomore at left tackle, it's one of the most important positions on the O-line, especially with a righty quarterback. And I feel like as a sophomore, I came in, I just did my job. That's it. That's all I wanted to do was do my job, try not to mess up. Now it's kind of I can go out there and I have fun with confidence. I can go out there and not worry about making so many mistakes because I've been doing this. It's my 3rd year doing it, and I can go out with 100% confidence knowing I'm going to keep this guy safe.
For sure.
For me, being a quarterback, it has to be a leader. Since a freshman year, having to step up in big shoes for Grayson Mirren as a quarterback, being a leader for the whole team has been a thing that I've always wanted to implement into my game more and more over the seasons. This year, I've been doing it more and more. Last year, it was rough because at first I was kind of nervous taking big shoes filled in as a starter and having to compete with the other quarterback. But this year has since training camp, since speed and agility, since weight rooms especially, has always been just been a leader. Asking my receivers, asking my linemen anything, asking receivers, hey, you want to hit the field? Hey, you want to do this, do that? You want to go work on routes? Being that guy for my receivers, for my teammates to be like, hey, can I talk to you? Be a guy that's open, be a guy that's like just ready, and just be there for them. So as a leader.
For me, I would have to say it was competitiveness. I mean, of course I was competitive my first game, but I didn't want it. Like I was just fine with being there, and I was fine with being okay and making the play. But now I want to be that guy to do it. Like step up, like guard me, right? But first game I wasn't. Like I was fine with being okay. Now I want to be great. Like the competitiveness, I'm down to compete with anybody, and that really developed.
That was some great answers.
That's some great answers.
They passed the test.
What? I go to any of the kids. What's it like to play at Lake Stevens? I mean, every week it's packed. The level that is set because of the success of the program and umpteen state, in the 4A, the streak. What's it like around school? What are the kids saying?
I think with a lot of the guys on the team, they know what they were getting themselves into. These guys aren't marshmallows. They're not gonna just come into the program and then just kind of roll over, and they're not nervous for it. They know what to expect. They know we're getting a ton of people every game. People are cheering. People are loud, and they know that at school, when they walk into school on Fridays, everyone knows it's game day. There's not one person that walks through those doors in the morning that doesn't know it's game. Everybody knows that it's going down at 7:00 at night. So I think a lot of the dudes on the team, they know what they're getting themselves into, and everyone loves it. Everyone loves the community. Lake Stevens, in my opinion, is the best place in the Northwest to be at.
I'm going to piggyback off of what Bryce said. When I look at Lake Stevens football, I think about a community, Like it's a fan base. We've grown up, played football since we were young guys, So, and as when I look to the stands, like I see as our community packed, stands packed every game. Doesn't matter what the game is. We'll go all the way to the state championship game. You know, we got our whole side packed. It's all about community when it comes to Lake Stevens football, and that's what I love so much about this program is I can look up and be like, I know I got my family, but I also know I got my community on my back, and that's what I like.
Lake Stevens, I feel like we really do have a home field advantage. Like playing at home for us, the stadium is packed. I mean, the stands is screaming like a dinosaur how loud they are every single play. Like it's unfathomable like how much energy people bring to our games. It makes it so much easier to play at home just with my guys. It makes it great.
You know, Coach, you've been in the game for so long, 19 seasons, as you mentioned, and, you know, the game's always changing and young athletes are always changing. And it seems adaptation seems to be your forte coming off a championship, but how would you say that your coaching has evolved from year 1 to year 19 here?
That's a good question. I started out as a ladybug. Like I was right there just trying to be an insect, a fly on the wall, a ladybug, whatever you want to call it, just trying to learn as much as I could, trying to figure out how to build a community. You know, I had great leadership with Ken Collins, who was our former head coach, but we also wanted to continue that tradition and even try to build off it. And so throughout the years, you go to clinics, you listen to kids, you gather yourself with great coaches. I think that's one of the probably thing that we haven't talked about very much. I think we have the best coaching staff in the state. Coach Dinwiddie has done an amazing job with our defense side of the ball. Jeff Deshawn, our offensive line coach, our receivers coaches, our DBs coaches. I mean, it really is a community in order to win football games on Friday nights. And I've been blessed to build a group of guys that all love to compete, all love to hang out with each other. And I think that breeds confidence. And with that confidence and success, it carries over year in, year out. Yeah, we have new players and maybe some new concepts here on both sides of the ball here and there. But really it's that continuity, knowing that you've built off what you've done in previous years. And you try to learn from your mistakes. You know, we all make mistakes, but if you can build off those mistakes and continue to get better and use that scaffolding, I think that you're giving yourself an opportunity to compete on Friday nights, and that's what we want to do.
Okay, let's talk schedule. Okay, let's talk schedule. You guys are never shy. You guys always, we talk about the 5 teams in the conference, right? It gives you great ability, great flexibility for non-conference. Bellevue right away. Okay, I got to talk about West Lynn because that's going to be on STSPN September 22nd. So make sure you tune in for that. When you think about Coach Tri, when you're talking about it and the kids, you guys got to get jacked up when you see these names. This is the biggest names in the state and also one of the top teams in Oregon. Talk about the building that schedule because you don't play a conference game until the 29th of September.
Well, I'll start with that. I don't mean to disrespect you, but we have Garfield week 1.
I know. You have
and
Garfield.
They are loaded with talent
absolutely.
and D1 guys, and that's a huge challenge for us.
100%.
We have them at our place, and they're marked right there week 1, September 1st at our place.
I have that down. That's
a big one.
That. You guys started off with Garfield. My bad.
We do play Bellevue at Bellevue week 2, and that's a huge game for us too. What I love about the Bellevue game is it's unique for us in that we don't see very many Wing T teams anymore. You know, when I started back in 1999 at Lake Stevens with King Collins, we had a 9-team league, and 7 of the 9 were Wing T teams. So, and I played under Terry Ennis, which is a Wing T offense. So I know the Wing T, but you don't see that very often. Long story short, it's kind of nice for us to get that. And obviously one of the best teams in the state. So not only do you see a different style, but you also are going to get challenged. So that's a great test for us. Week 3 is a Federal A team, very good state qualifier, tons of athletes, going to be a big one.
It's a gauntlet.
And then in comes Westland week 4, a team that really put a hammer to us last year and made us really question ourselves and who we were as a team. And we did some things after the Westland game that we haven't done before in my 18 years as head coach. So we're always trying to learn from our mistakes and always trying to get better. And then you forgot about Eastlake week 6. There's another big one, right? So
couldn't get it all out. They're all headliners. That's the problem.
We wanted to challenge ourselves. We really did. You know, it was probably one of the biggest reasons why we were able to get that state championship last year, and that we had more adversity last year than we probably have had in the previous 5 or 6 years combined until that last game. And then that last game is finality. And so we wanted to finally win that last game and not be that runner-up or, and so that's the challenge. And so as we build those blocks and try to keep better, we're talking about this being a new year, but ultimately we want to win our league first and host some home playoff games and try and keep that trophy in our trophy case this next season.
We've been taking a straw poll of a lot of the athletes here today, so I want to pose the question here to the three of you. You're handed a controller for the new Madden game. What team are you going with for any pickup game? First choice, and why?
I'm from Illinois, so I got to go with the Chicago Bears. Always, even though they're not that good, but it's hometown. It's my hometown team.
Respect that.
I'm going with Seahawks.
Wow.
That whole offensive core, DB. I mean, they got everything right now, and I feel like they're gonna have a good year this season too. So I'm gonna roll with Seahawks, hometown.
I like it.
Throw it deep to DK every play.
DK and the Jigba, everything.
I'm a little bit more disrespectful with it. I just choose a really low overall team because I'm a little too good at Madden. So I gotta start out low to keep it fair with whoever I'm playing against.
You talk about offense all the time. I know every time I talk to Coach Try, this is my, your defense has been spectacular. When I look at points against for the season year after year, one of the top in the state. Doesn't matter what classification. So the defensive guy, I want to give you more mic time, okay? I want to give you more time. What is it about Lake Stevens Vikings defense that you feel is kind of the signature?
Honestly, our defense is kind of all about freedom. Like we have a free guy almost every play that is given opportunities to make plays. And even the more on the freedom part, sometimes we'll have guys one-on-one because we trust them with it. We trust the guys to make the play. Like this year at corner, we'll have Paul Varela, who he mentally wants it. He's that competitive I was talking about. He's throw it my way. He wants to make that play. David Brown, he wants to make that play. And we're making these guys free, and that just gives our defense opportunities to make those game-changing, those turnovers, those three-and-out plays. Is just being free and having our defense be so fluid and allowing it to move around so much.
Right.
With all these shows that are out right now, like Hard Knocks, like Quarterback, like Coach Prime, you get to see how the big programs, both in college and at the pro level, how they grind every single day and how they prepare for all of their games. Do you guys watch those kinds of shows, and how do they educate you in how to approach Lake Stevens football?
As a quarterback, you could probably guess what I watch on Netflix. I watch the quarterback series. Watching that whole series actually put a way different perspective into my mind when it comes to higher level football. With being a quarterback, it shows me the amount of leadership you need to have, the amount of grit you need to have, the amount of just trust you need to have with your players.
How about the studying? The amount of studying you got to have.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins, watching that guy just made me love that guy even 100 times more. I love the series a lot. I didn't watch any of the other series you guys watched. You guys told me about, but quarterbacks was a different perspective for myself. As a quarterback perspective, so.
Anything O-line? Come on.
I don't really watch too much TV, but when I do, I turned on some Hard Knocks, and I'm just kind of watching how, even though some of these guys they'll go into a game and they haven't played with some of these guys before because, it's the NFL, they're from all over, and they work together because they just trust each other. It's a natural. So that kind of shows to me how, if I'm on the D-line, I need to show, I need to trust the guy next to me. You guys should run the ball at us. I trust the guy next to me to do his job. I trust myself to do my job, and we can make it happen no matter who it is.
I watch a detective show here and there on Netflix.
There you go.
Not too much football.
There you go.
Watched.
What's the best detective show then, or crime show then?
White Collar on
White
Hulu.
Collar.
That's a great one. It's been a good one. Coach, what do you think about all these football shows and just the allure and just the demand, the consumer, the NFL? It can be on any time, any day. as you guys working with young people, what do you think about all this access and all these behind the scenes stuff? Do you have any feelings about that?
I think it's been going on behind the scenes for a long time. Like, when I see a show of Hard Knocks, or I've watched the quarterbacks documentary, I've seen the Last Chance U and some of those types of things. I see myself in those behind the offices, doing the paperwork, watching the film, writing your playbook out or your script for the week. I mean, those are all things I do on a daily basis. So I guess I'm enamored by it, just knowing that there's other people out there doing the same thing, maybe at a different level. And maybe I'm only at the high school level, but I'm telling you, we're doing the same things. We're just not being filmed. You know, we have our weekly film sessions, Sunday morning coaches meetings that they turn Sunday mornings that turn into Sunday afternoons, especially when you get into league games and playoffs. And the grind is real. You know, we're there until 6 o'clock on Mondays with the kids watching film and getting in the weight room and still getting out and doing our conditioning. And it's 24/7 anymore. But that's kind of what it takes to be successful. And you know, there's times in the off season when we give these guys freedom to go do things. But when August 16th hits, it's football first and friends second, right? And so there's definitely a commitment level that is required, not only among the coaches, but among the players too. They watch a ton of film on their own that they won't even tell you about.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how you do it because you've kept this. You guys got a target on your back every day, every year. It doesn't matter. You've created that. You are the elite of elite, and kudos to you to continue. And Coach Try, I know it's a big credit to you. Every single year you come out, and you're the ones to beat. I mean, there's no doubt. You've earned that. So thank you for coming. Have a great season. We can't wait to watch you and see you on STSPN. And other times, and I think that's, anything else, Casey?
I know I'm good. Thank you so much for coming, gentlemen.
Yeah,
Appreciate
absolutely.
Thank
Have
you.
a great season.
Absolutely.
Always love watching you.
Thanks for
All
having
right.
us.
We might be back to wrap it up. We might not. We just never know here on STSPN. We won't be, but that's going to do it for the 2023 Wesco Media 4A Media Day. Scott Ohsman, Casey Bryant. Thanks for watching. And September 1st, STSPN, Friday Night Lights. Thanks for watching.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires. I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Don't stress, just save up to $200 on select tires with financing at our Les Schwab Fall Tire Sale.